All right, way back in the fall of 2020, the New York Post dared to report the truth about the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and the laptop from hell. It was censored by the rest of the media with the help of the FBI, warning them that this may be misinformation. But today, with possible charges now looming against Hunter, the Post was barred from Biden's only event. Now, this comes as the New York Post columnist and best-selling author Miranda Devine is reporting that Hunter's ex-business partner, Devin Archer, who has been convicted of fraud, is now making one last-ditch effort to avoid prison. According to Devin, Miranda Devine, quote, friends with knowledge of Hunter's thinking are telling Archer to accept that the Bidens have thrown him under the bus and that a last-minute presidential pardon has been ruled out. She continues, quote, they have urged him to save himself by using the only currency that he has left, and that is his knowledge of the Biden family and their influence peddling scheme, for which he had a front-row seat for 4 years during Joe Biden's vice presidency. Now, for reference, this is Devin Archer golfing with Hunter and Joe, and that photo emerged after Biden swore over and over and over again during the 2020 campaign that he never spoke to his son about his foreign business dealings. In reality, Joe met in person with at least 14 of Hunter Biden's foreign business associates. And now with more from the New York Post, Fox News contributor Miranda Devine. I'm sure your feelings are really hurt about being kept out of the presser today.
Well, look, I just think it's appalling. Obviously, we've hit a nerve with the Biden administration, but it's not their press room. It's not Joe Biden's press room. It's the people's press room for an administration that is probably the most untransparent of any in recent memory, and the most opaque, and the president who's the least accessible. To do this should be causing an outrage with the rest of the media. They should boycott that press room. And I think that they're just quite happy to be sycophants. You saw that at the, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's embarrassing the way there are journalists in Washington who just suck up to this president. They never ask him hard questions. Friday night, you had Stephanie Rule on MSNBC soft-soaping the interview with Joe Biden again. This is what we see over and over. I don't know what is wrong with them. They're supposed to be doing their job, and they don't. And the journalists who do their jobs, like our very good Washington correspondent Stephen Nelson, get treated appallingly, get thrown out, get excluded, aren't able to ask questions. And frankly, the Biden administration wants to destroy Fox News, wants to destroy the New York Post. And this is the way they go. And it's because we are the only mainstream media organisations who are really speaking truth to power.
Almost 35 years in media, and I am very proud of my record. I have never, Miranda, went to a single White House Correspondents' Dinner, and that record will never be, it'll only get larger, because I'm never going. All right, let's talk about Deb.
I've been to a couple.
You've been to a couple. You have my sympathy then.
Yeah.
I have they don't like me and I don't like them, so let's be honest about it. It's fairly straightforward. All right, let's talk about Devin Archer.
Yeah.
His back is now against the wall. He's got one more shot, as I understand it, in terms of making an appeal. The only out for him would be to cooperate. That's if they even allow it to happen. I'm suspicious of that only because the Justice Department and justice in America, we have a dual system, so I'm not even sure if that deal would be available to him. Do you have any indication he might flip?
Well, look, all I know is that on Tuesday he has his last-ditch effort, these oral arguments for his appeal. It's the same judge, Judge Sullivan, who's part of this panel who reversed his previous exoneration by Judge Abrams. And so it's a real long shot that he would get any relief here. And I'm told that he's feeling despondent and really feels betrayed by the Bidens. I think he had some hope up until now that he would get a pardon because, after all, he's really taken the brunt of the punishment for a business that Hunter was involved in as well. Hunter and Devin were joined at the hip throughout, Joe's vice presidency. They were in Burisma together and so on. And so I think that Devon thinks it's quite unfair that he's the one going to jail and having to pay $42 million in restitution, and Hunter Biden, as usual, gets off scot-free. So he felt that he'd been loyal and that the Bidens should be loyal in return. So let's see what happens. But I think he does have information that certainly would be, as John Solomon said, it would be material to any attempt to investigate Joe Biden for his role in this influence peddling scheme, because he's seen it all. He's seen Joe Biden meet their business partners from overseas. He's seen Joe Biden talk to them on the phone. He could do a lot, and he's seen it from the start through Burisma, through the original China deals.
All right, Miranda, great reporting as always. Thank you.